Here's the baby that fast cleanup, the T26 E3 heavy tank. Big though it is, it has the sleek look of a giant greyhound. This is partly due to its sloping V-shaped front, partly to the very low silhouette, which makes it a difficult target to hit. It has no trouble at all with rough terrain. It climbs any grade up to 60%. It crosses trenches as wide as 8 feet. Thanks to the fact that it has torsion bar suspension, it can overcome 46-inch obstacles. It's a lot of tank to do stunts like these. 45 tons to get down to statistics. Its turret is cast armor steel, and its hull is heavy armor plate. It can take plenty. It can dish it out, too. In fact, that 90mm gun is the most potent weapon that we've ever mounted in a tank. In addition, there's a caliber 30 machine gun mounted in the bow. Another caliber 30 is mounted coaxially in the turret. And the caliber 50 is mounted up on top. Now we'll strip away the fenders and sand shield so that we can look over the track and wheels and the torsion bar suspension that helps the tank over the bumps. The 6-fuel rubber wheels are the same type as those on the light tank M26. Each wheel is divided in 2 sections, the channel between accommodating center guides that help keep the track in place. Up here, the track is supported by 5 track support rollers. Each of these rollers has a lubrication fitting, right here. The rollers must be greased immediately after contact with water or mud. Otherwise, the bearings will freeze and lock the rollers. The rollers do not turn when the track goes over them. There'll be trouble. To maintain track tension, there is a compensator wheel mounted on either side at the front. The compensator wheels keep the tracks tight even when going over an obstacle. They work this way. A bar connects the compensator wheel spindle to the front road wheel. When the front road wheel is lifted, the bar moves the compensator wheel forward, taking up the slack. Here's the way it works with the wheels and track on. The tracks themselves are a little different from anything we've ever had on a tank before. They're all metal and 2 feet wide. The track tension must be checked at least once each week. To do this, the tank must first be allowed to coast to a halt without using the brakes. Then, using a pry bar, install 1-inch spacers between the track and the 2nd and 4th support rollers. There should be blocks on both inner and outer rollers. Measure the clearance between the 3rd roller and the track. If the track tension is correct, this clearance should be 1/4 inch. To make any necessary adjustment, the front fender and dust shield must be off. Then remove this cotter pin. Using the open-end wrench, back off the lock nut. Use the adjuster spanner wrench to move the adjuster. The adjuster will be moved forward if tension is to be tightened, backward if it is to be loosened. If you want to break tracks, it calls for special tools. 2 track connecting fixtures, a drift, 2 bushing pullers, a bucking tool, a hammer, a pry bar, and a track pin wrench. Drift and bucking tool are used when a track pin removing tool is not available. First, the track connecting fixtures must be attached and tightened enough to take the tension off the track pin. Normally, they can be tightened sufficiently by hand. Then remove the track pin nut and washer. Here is the special track pin removing tool. Plug it into the sprocket holes on either side of the track pin to be removed and tighten it in place. Then the track pin can be driven out without difficulty. The need for the bushing pullers becomes clear when a couple of disassembled track links are examined. Each track link has 5 bushings, 3 on one side, 2 on the other. The bushings are serrated on the ends, and when the links are together, the serrations are engaged. Thus, the bushings become one unit after the track pin is installed. To disengage the serrations, the bushing pullers are used. Insert a puller inside the bushing and tighten the screw. Then turn the puller nut. This separates the bushings. Here's the same thing being done on the vehicle. When the 2 outer bushings have been withdrawn enough to allow clearance for the serrations, take off one of the track connecting fixtures. Now the loosened track must be supported by a heavy bar so as not to damage the bushing serrations. Then the other track connecting fixture can be detached and removal of the... This is the front road wheel lifting tool. It takes a lot of the sweat out of installing a new front road wheel. One end goes against the hub of the road wheel, the short prong up. The other end is set into a sprocket hole forward of the wheel in this fashion. Driving the tank forward slowly will raise the wheel from the track so that it clears the center guide. This other lifting tool performs the same function for the remaining road wheels. The hole in the end fits over the spindle extension of the wheel. The other end is placed in a sprocket hole forward of the wheel. As the tank is driven slowly forward, the wheel is raised clear of the center guide. This tank has a rear drive, so the sprocket wheels are back here. The sprocket teeth fit into holes in the track. Now let's see how the engine drives the track. These doors provide easy access to the engine and powertrain. The engine, torque-matic transmission, and differential can be lifted out as one unit. Tracing the powertrain backwards from the sprocket wheels, we come to the differential here in the rear of the compartment. The torque-matic transmission acts as both a clutch and a variable transmission, eliminating the clutch pedal and cutting gear shift.